Patient number misidentification of a patient mislabeling an add-on test. Which one of the following is the most common analytical error? Not checking specimen integrity. What is the most common post-analytical error? Clerical errors. How often must a procedure be reviewed? Annual review is required. How often must thermometers be checked against the NIST thermometer? Annually. In which manual are the directions for running quality control for a specific assay kept? Operating Procedure Manual. Following equipment maintenance, when is quality control suggested? After any preventative maintenance. What is the most common reason for a control value to be outside of 3ST? Random error.
Pansit.
If one control is outside the 95% confidence limits, then what is the most appropriate remedial action to take initially? Repeat the same control. Where should an unopened container of methanol be stored? Flammable safety cabinet. After preventative maintenance by field service, which one of the following is recommended? Verification of QC results. According to CLIA, who is responsible for specimen processing, test performance, and reporting test results? Testing personnel. Which one of the following is not a job duty of the testing personnel? Interpretation of highly complex testing. All of the following are job duties of testing personnel. Inventory control, equipment maintenance, and accuracy of reported results. Which one of the following is not required to be kept in the employee's personnel records? Continuing education documents. All of the following are required to be kept in the employee's personnel records. Job competency training checklist, remedial action documentation, and annual performance appraisal. Which one of the following statements concerning CEUs is false? CEUs are mandated by the College of American Pathologists. Who is responsible for monitoring trends for corrected reports in the laboratory? Quality assurance. Which federal law requires that the competency of laboratory personnel be documented? CLIA. Tracking and trending customer complaints concerning the laboratory is a responsibility of which area? Quality assurance. Which federal agency issues regulations to ensure employee safety? Occupational Safety and Health Administration. OSHA Hazard Communication Standard requires original container labels to contain all of the following information except which one? Emergency telephone number. OSHA Hazard Communication Standard requires original container labels to contain all of the following information: product name, warning label, and manufacturer's name and address. Which federal agency requires safety training during new employee orientation and annually thereafter? OSHA. Which plan minimizes personnel exposure to hazardous chemicals? Chemical Hygiene Plan. Which bloodborne pathogens are of greatest risk to laboratorians? Hepatitis B and HIV. All of the following are components of the OSHA tuberculosis plan. All employees with patient contact must be fit for respirators. All laboratory employees are required to have PPD skin tests. Employees who have had a positive PPD must have an annual chest X-ray exam. All of the following are components of the OSHA tuberculosis plan except. All lab employees are exempt from having fit testing for respirators. When a fire occurs, when should the hospital operator be notified of the fire? After pulling the alarm. Which federal agency regulates disposal of biohazardous waste? Environmental Protection Agency. Which federal agency regulates facilities that use radioisotopes? Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Which federal agency regulates the disposal of hazardous chemicals and biohazardous wastes? EPA. Which labor law requires an employer to provide reasonable accommodations to a wheelchair-bound employee? Americans with Disabilities Act. Which federal agency is responsible for enforcing employment discrimination laws? Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Which federal law defines the minimum wage and overtime compensation? Fair Labor Standards Act. Which agency is responsible for enforcing equal pay for equal work? Fair Labor Standards. Which federal agency regulates packaging, labeling, and transportation of biological products? Department of Transportation. Which law required the Department of Health and Human Services to establish standards for protected health information? Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. What do the etched rings on the top of a pipette mean? The last drop is to be blown out after the pipette drains. What is the accuracy of a volumetric pipette? 1/1000.
What's up?
What is the term used to describe a 99.95% purified chemical that can be measured directly referred to as? Primary standard. What is a solution in which the molecules of solute in the solution are in equilibrium with excess undissolved molecules referred to as? Saturated. What is the pH of pure water? 7.0. Which statistical term most specifically describes analytical precision? Coefficient of variation. Quality control should be performed and monitored to ensure which one of the following? Reliability. What is the term used to describe material with physical and chemical properties closely resembling the test specimen and containing concentrations of the substance being measured? Control. A procedure has a 2SD variation from a mean value. How many values from a normal population will 2SD include? 95.45%.